We have outros again. Freaking finally. I don't know why it took me so damn long to figure out an idea of what I wanted to do, but it kicked in and shifted gears and I said, alright, it's time to actually show people that we're serious about wanting this channel to be something, right? Because I feel like if you make an outro and an intro for your channel, I feel like that kind of shows you how much someone cares about what they're trying to do on their own platform in a way. Like, maybe not every time, but it shows them enough sometimes where it's like, alright, so you actually care about what you want to do. And that's what I kind of want to showcase here, right? Because ultimately I just haven't had one for the longest time because I didn't know what to actually do to replace the old one, which was just straight up Etchy City, and I loved it, but it also got me demonetized a lot of the time, so I can't necessarily use that one anymore. But when it comes down to it, this is my alternative of it. Also, it's not going to be just this outro. There's 10 of these things. If you've seen the JX4 story, you know how many waifus that is in there of the original characters that we got. So obviously, every last one of them is getting one. At least the main cast is getting one when it comes down to it, right? 10 of these in total, including the one you just saw. So keep an eye out for what you're basically gonna be getting in the near future when it comes down to it. And each one of them are obviously different. Each of them gonna have a text and words that matches up with the characters and how they kind of are in a way. And also some of it is just basically just kind of cool to do so you can make yourself watch another video. So that's just how it is on that. So yeah, just keep an eye out for the outros for the next 10 videos. You'll see all 10 of them if you just consistently keep watching. So yeah, that's just how it is on that. And now I know what I want to talk about. Let's talk about how Eastern games are just whooping ass, but in a different sort of way, right? Because I'm gonna sit here and lie. Are we just slowly getting cured? Like, is gaming actually back? Because I'm gonna sit here and lie, we have been seeing a lot of Eastern rise lately, more so than the West, and it seems like the West is losing power in that area, and it's great, right? Obviously, we talked about like the Square Enix whole layoff with the Western divisions recently, and how that's actually somewhat of a good thing when it comes down to it. And then the only reason why I say somewhat is because, again, you know, people losing jobs, that does indeed suck. But ultimately, you know, if it's for the fact that, you know, we can actually get better games and actually get people to come through to not just straight up like give us, you know, straight up political nonsense in games and stuff and messaging and whatever like that, no matter how much big content creators and bigger, you know, people in the industry want to deny that, that's exactly what that is to at least a big point of it. Then yeah, I'm here for actually bringing this shit back to Japan. Am I here for it to the absolute extremist max? No, because, you know, obviously that leads into a lot of the West getting hoed in certain things that, you know, I would like to see. But ultimately, yeah, for the most part, I want to see creative games back to their roots, back to what Japan can actually do in countries over there in the East when it comes down to it, right? We had Square kind of lay things off. We had, you know, slowly rumors have been in the backgrounds for PlayStation kind of being like, you know what, if things like Yosuyote don't work out, if things like, you know, this intergalactic game don't really work out, then we're probably going to bring the whole division, at least for the most part, back to Japan. And that's something that people have been very much excited about when it comes down to behind the scenes talks. There is also the fact that a lot of other, you know, Eastern games companies have been trying to, you know, basically buy up a lot of different IPs and stuff like that. Really, a lot of people outside of the West has been trying to buy up a lot of, like, you know, Western studios and stuff like that, whether it's EA in Saudi Arabia just straight up having that Arab money, or just having, like, you know, NetEase coming through and coming in and buying stuff like Ubisoft as well, and trying to jump in on that sort of train to basically save what's left of that miserable ass company. You know, there's a lot of different things that's been happening, and now we're seeing that tomorrow there's going to be a Japanese and Asian region specific state of play. Like, what timeline are we actually living in? What timeline are we living in? The days of old, like 3 to even 5 years ago, we would not be seeing something like this before. We would not be seeing a Eastern state of play specifically, right? Because I'm so used to state of plays having like a bunch of Western shit that I don't care for. Whether it is a story-based game that has basically no care in the world for me, whether it's literally 5 million shooter games, because that's literally all the West can produce, and just whatever other game with some type of activism that's in there every now and again. That's just basically what we get. That's like the most of what we get in Western state of plays that we've been seeing for years. But really, ever since the whole other state of play where Marvel Tokon came through, I was kind of just like, wait a minute, the hell is this? This state of play has been hella Japanese. This state of play has been hella like Asian oriented. Like, what's going on here? This is cool. I like this state of play. This is cool. I'm confused, but this is also really cool. And now we're getting a full blown state of play that is just Japanese games and games that's been announced and whatever. People already having ideas of what it could be. Final Fantasy Part 3, which we'll like to see. I think that's more so Game Awards, if anything. That we'll like to see. Kingdom Hearts 4, which we ain't even gonna start that train. I don't think it's gonna be there. If it pops up, I'm blowing my whole nutsack, obviously. But when it comes down to it, I don't think it's gonna be there. But when it comes down to it, it's a nice surprise to think about. Then also, now I think about it, that's a Eastern state of play. We could see Neverness to Everness to pop up. Maybe drop a release date because I'm getting tired of waiting. I'm just ready to drop WUWA again so that game can come through, or whatever other gacha game comes through. Right? Could be very much another gacha game in the works. Could be a anime game that we don't really know too much about. Could be a new Naruto game, considering that they also been doing something with the Storm series. Like a compilation sort of website that's up for it now, which is a bit weird out the blue, so maybe there is a secret project in the works. Who really knows? Like, there's so many options that we could really think about that could be here, and even at the Game Awards when it comes down to it, but more so here, because of just how much this is getting a focus for Japanese and Asian games specifically. Right? It's kind of crazy to think that this is the timeline that we're living in, where we're actually getting Japan-focused games, Asian-focused games, when it comes down to it. It's weird. And let's just be super honest with each other. Eastern games have been wanting to fight back for a good minute now. The only reason why they haven't been fighting back really at all is solely due to the fact that the West just keeps trying to hold them, keeps trying to bog them down. And the more they keep trying to bog them down, the more the East is starting to realize, hey, hold up, something ain't right here. We can hold a lot when their games are doing, you know, some type of good, you know, representation and, you know, looking kind of well. But when we drop shit, people don't ever talk about it. Like, well, what the hell is going on over there? And the small signs of things that's been in the bullshittery pie for a good while, they're starting to be like, hold up, I don't know where this is going, but I'm not liking this anymore. And that's just how it is. I kind of wish they realized it sooner, but, you know, I guess now better than never, I suppose. And that's just how it is. Right? So now we're starting to, and again, cracks has been showing for years, right? Because you had, like, obviously the dude that made Dragon Quest basically being like, who are these games kind of for? Then you had Nomura come up with like an interview saying that, you know, ugly characters is something that he don't really care for in games because his friend didn't really like that, so he just made beautiful looking characters all the time. Then you had, you know, like so many other people coming through, just basically making the games that they want to and not necessarily caring for, you know, to please a bigger, wider audience like Kodaka. It comes down to things like Danganronpa and whatever games he works on, and just plenty of other devs in the industry of that side that has just been coming through, basically voicing their opinions about certain stuff, and certain games just getting made, honestly. Games over there that is mostly focused on making a game fun and giving people what they want shockingly sells well than just forced ideals that is in Western games that people don't care for. Shocker, I know, but that is literally how it is. The signs have always been there. It's just more louder than it has ever really been when it comes down to it. And if this is again finally the cure that we've been looking for, the back to form that we've been trying to get to, I am here for it, right? We've seen this type of thing with Stellar Blade, where people was very much shitting on it for, you know, being a Gunner game, and for whatever the hell reason about the, you know, model of the person that was playing Eve and whatever, and yet that game did very damn well, and people still give a shit about it, right? That's just how it is. You know, you had things like Genshin Impact, which I know people don't like, but ultimately, let's be real, it was a big parts of, you know, how games could actually be pretty damn good on the gacha side of things. Even showcasing that, yeah, a game such as this, even at a time point where, you know, it was in the damn pandemic and everything, a time point like that made a shit ton of money. So much money, it made more money than PlayStation's whole division for that whole last year, which is crazy. Hell, if I'm not mistaken, I think the big games that actually get talked about online a lot of the time, like on social media, I think there was like a some type of discussion about that recently. Is like the bigger games that is talked about is like gotcha games, things like a Genshin or a Wuthering Waves or whatever. Those are the games that people talk about more than other games at this current moment in time, and that just how it is now, right? So again, just showing you that Eastern dynamic that they have over there is very much working, and it's very much been chomping at away really a lot of the Western ideals and Western people, and no one cares about Western games anymore because they keep adding weird shit to their games, keep doing stuff that no one really cares for, wasting so much millions and millions of dollars just to produce a game that won't even survive for a damn week like Concord. That's just essentially what we are in right now, and it's absolutely crazy. And again, it just feels like a coming back to its roots sort of situation, right? Because again, I know Japan been looking at PlayStation in America and in the West in general. It's just been looking like, you know what, you don't throw away so much money just so you get no profits back, and we just continuously losing money over and over again, and you just call yourself making games, you call yourself game devs and stuff like that. That's not how that works. And so essentially it's seeming like, again, we're really seeing them pulling PlayStation back to Japan, trying to fix up the mess that the West has tried to make, right? And again, I won't sit here and say there hasn't been any good Western games in the past 5 years, because there has been good ones. Let's not sit here and lie. There's been some very nice ones. I think, something at like Returnal has been something that's a little bit of entertainment when it comes down to it. I think there's been like a few others that you probably could think of that's pretty good Western games. But the few good Western games that exist out there does not obviously outbeat the wide variety of just Eastern games that has been crushing it consistently. And again, this is kind of what makes me think about, obviously when people be going through these studios making these big high-end games and then be like, yeah, we're cooking here, we're absolutely cooking, and then trying to think that, yes, this one game is going to save the company. It's not. You're going to have a consistent flow of different video games to work for you in your favor to actually be something. Because if you just make one game and you think that one game is going to save your company, that's not how it works, especially not anymore. This ain't the 1990s or the 80s where you could try that sort of shit. This isn't a Final Fantasy 1 sort of situation. This isn't a Persona 3 sort of situation, right? There is no way something like that could actually happen unless you're making like maybe like 3 different games and they all come out super good and super well. That's the only damn way. And no one wants a buggy mess or a gay mess or a black mess like Assassin's Creed Shadows with what the hell was going on there. No one wants a Star Wars Outlaw situation anymore. No one wants a Last of Us 2 when it comes down to it. Hell, when it comes down to Naughty Dog in general, when they were talking about Intergalactic, there was like somebody wearing like a pride flag, I assume a pride flag on their shirt or whatever, and they blurred that shit out. So I think that's obviously not Naughty Dog's decision, considering how Naughty Dog has been in recent years. That is most likely a higher up, decision to be like, hey, this has nothing to do with gaming. Shut that shit down. We don't care. And that's probably how it is. And if that is the case, yeah, it does feel like a return to form is on its damn way, right? So ultimately, I don't know what is happening at PlayStation or Sony or whatever, but I am liking the signs. I can't sit here and say I'm not liking the signs. Because again, if we're getting games that is just blowing shit out the water, that is very damn good, the Eastern variety, that's amazing. And if this actually prompts actual good Western devs to actually kick ass, I would be also here for it, right? But ultimately, if this is dead ass, the way back forward to getting some good, high quality shit back into the limelight of actual gamers that want to play games solely because the games are kick ass and the games are good, I am absolutely here for it. And what a perfect time too, especially for Japan, considering that they're actually starting to like fight back against a lot of the West when it comes down to credit card companies, when it comes down to people trying to interfere with, Japanese entertainment and their works and stuff like that. This is a perfect time for this shit to just absolutely, go down in the gaming side of things, because there is no reason why we can't have good, fun, high quality video games that people actually wants to play and actually wants to support. There is no reason that we can't necessarily, have that. And again, people, as crazy as the damn prices for games is, if you want my honest opinion, if you make a good game, it's kind of like what the, DOA creator said, years ago. If you make a game that obviously is something that people want to play, then you can pretty much charge whatever the hell you want to. Am I saying that I'm gonna pay for $100 game? Of course not. That's crazy. Would never even want to pay for an $80 one. But at the very same time, if you make something high quality, people will be more inclined to fork it over, especially if it's not going to take years and years of, development time trying to get that shit out. Looking at Kingdom Hearts 4 real quick because it's been too damn long. But yeah, essentially, I'm hoping that this is just a return form and we're getting back into the age of just straight up good games again and actually starting to actually being a part of like, yeah, this is the peak here. This is where we should be at. So yeah, hopefully this means that we're back. But yeah, let me know in the comments what y'all think about this whole thing, because this has just been signs I've been seeing and people have been pointing out, and it's like, does this feel like we're back? Because I feel like we're kind of back, right? Especially if we see some cool shit tomorrow. Oh, I think we're fully back. I think we're starting to get back. I think that would be a confirmed sign that, yeah, we're starting to get back. But that's really what I want to say for this one. So hopefully you did enjoy. Let me know in the comments. Also, what are you looking for tomorrow when it comes down to it? Are you looking for a Neverness to Everness, a Kingdom Hearts 4, a Final Fantasy 7 remake trilogy? Are you looking for a Nanta? Maybe even, something along the lines of an anime game? Let me know in the comments below, because I am super curious as to what the hell could be presented for 40 minutes tomorrow. So yeah, we'll definitely have to see. But that's again all I want to say for this one. So hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification on your way out. Also on socials, and if you like the channel, Kofi and Cash is available as well. And until this is boy Jay, sign off. Have a blessed day.